All right, we are here to talk about rowing. So, the rowing machine is an awesome workout. A lot of people think it's just mainly pull, and it's a lot of upper body. And it is some upper body, but actually done correctly, it's more push with the legs than anything. And elite rowers actually wear shirts that say push, don't pull. So it's more about the leg push, and then you finish with an arm or more so a back squeeze at the end. But really the power is coming from the legs, hips, thighs, all right? So we're gonna look at the fundamentals of that and how you can get the most out of your form. But again, it's a great workout. You can get your heart rate as high as anything on this, as high as a treadmill, running, etc., and you can do it very quickly. 9 out of 10 people row very poorly, and I can usually look at them and make a couple quick adjustments, and their power, their efficiency improves tremendously. So say from a 2.5 minute pace per 500 meters down to a 2-minute pace per 500 meters, just with a couple small tweaks. So this video, we're gonna look at those and make sure you are being as efficient as possible. First off, a couple things about the rower itself. The Concept 2, which this is the most popular rower. It's a great one, great machine. And it has a damper setting. So you have an air chamber here basically. And a lot of people will think, oh, I'm strong, I want to put it on the highest and heaviest. And when you put it on a 10 damper, it goes from 1 to 10, it's going to let the most air into the chamber. So you're fighting against the most air resistance. It's going to be the heaviest pull. Now that doesn't necessarily mean you can create the most power there. You can actually put it at 1, which is basically a closed chamber, no air, and it's going to be very light. But if you're faster and more explosive there, you can actually create just about as much power as a 1 as a 10. All right, so everybody has their own, and it depends how long you're rowing. You know, if you're going for 1 minute versus 4 minutes straight versus 10 minutes straight or longer. If you're up here on the 10s, you're gonna burn out very, very quickly. I don't recommend that for pretty much anybody unless if it's a super short sprint, 15, 30 seconds or something like that. Most professional rowers hang out in the 3 to 5 zone, and that's typically what water feels like, 3 to 5. And I find myself, every rower is a little bit different, but myself, I find around a 5 is usually pretty good, plus or minus 1. I get the best bang for my buck as far as the fastest pace is possible when I'm in that zone. So that's the damper setting. There's a drag factor as well, but we're not going to get into that. That's how you can compare rowers to rowers, so you're the same on each one, but that's for another video. So locking in, you want to have the straps go around the widest part of your front foot there, the ball of the foot area. So bring it up, tighten across. You want to be sitting towards the front of the seat, but don't fall off. It's not a comfortable drop. All right? And then we want to be nice and loose grip. Okay, it should not be a death grip because our arms are just the attachment here. So a nice loose grip. You can see I'm gripping it like so. I'm not fully around it. I'm just letting it in the fingertips. You do not want it in your palms. All right? And then the proper, what we call catch position. You're going to be in here like so. Notice my shins are basically almost straight up and down. I'm not in front of it for sure. My hips, real importantly, are behind my shoulders. So I'm not underneath like this. There's no power here. It's a really bad spot. Your heels are going to come up. That's a good sign that you're getting in too far with your butt. So you want to be here. So our hips are ready to swing back as we finish the row. So we're loaded here, shoulders forward. Our lats are engaged, and then from there, we're just simply going to push and then finish with a back squeeze pull. So really it's 60% push and then a pull. And don't worry about too much speed right off the bat. Now mistakes we see people make, they row like this. So they're really fast and they're not getting much power at any stroke. It's just really fast. There's no coordination or synchronization of the move. Their legs are moving non-stop, and it's not very efficient. So breaking this down really simply, we want to think legs first, push, push, push. Then our hips swing from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and then finishing pull with the arms. All right? So 60% is legs, hip swing, in. All right? Legs, hip swing, in. It all flows from one to the next. So it's legs, hip swing, arms to finish. And on the return, it's the exact opposite. So we are push, swing, pull, immediate return to the hands, and then the upper body and knees start to bend. So that's a huge, important point here, is that the legs actually get a little break. So they hang out for a moment. When I finish the pull, at the very end, notice my legs stay straight. And that makes a big difference when you're trying to go for time, multiple minutes. Just that little bit of leg rest really helps you keep going strong. Versus, again, like I showed before, there was never any stopping. You're gonna fatigue, your legs are gonna burn out immediately. So again, I push, lean back, pull in, immediate return. As soon as my handle is crossing my knees, then I start coming forward with the legs. So putting full motion here. Exhaling as I finish. Always want to exhale as you finish the exertion. Nothing can happen on the return, all right? So you want to be relaxed as that handlebar returns. But notice my legs are getting that little break this time. I'm thinking push. And then I finish with that last little pull. Push, return, boom. Push, return, boom. My hands immediately go back. All right, so there was a 149 pace per 500 meters. And I was doing that pretty easily. Although I'm out of breath. Gets you going. So, I wasn't going that fast. Looks like my strokes per minute was 25, which is not flying. It's decently fast, but it was nice and smooth and relaxed, and I was getting those leg breaks. So really work on this in slow motion. You got the push, swing, pull in, immediate return. As soon as that handle passes the knees, then the legs start coming back. But just that little bit of break is going to make a big difference. So we can think about those few fundamentals. The push is our power, that's 60% of the row, followed by the hip swing, which kind of happens automatically, and then the finishing pull. One other key factor, another mistake people make, is they bend their elbows far too early. And you know what happens when the elbow bends? The power ends. So think about what's happening here. If I am putting all this leg power into the rower, if I keep my arms straight, it stays a solid connection and transmits that force. As soon as I bend my elbows, all this power from here is wasted. It's completely leaked out the elbow, and now it's turning into nothing but arms. And you're gonna just destroy your upper back. Everything's gonna be destroyed upper body. Your power output is gonna be significantly decreased because your legs are much more powerful than your upper body. You can't compare them. So as soon as the elbow bends, the power ends. So notice again, when I pull back and row, my arms stay straight until the very end. My legs are done before the elbows bend. There's no early bend here. So another key fundamental. So start this out slow motion. You push, lean back, pull in, return, just like so. All right? Just those few keys will take you a long way in the right direction towards rowing better. Get out, you just simply like those, pop up like so. So, there's a lot that goes into rowing, but I find those are the most important things to get you started on the right track, burning up the water and really increasing the heart rate, the strength, and the power. So let's get some good rowing. Good jobs.